Hey guys, Joe Coolass here once again for K Tactical. So, this is just going to kind of be a little bit of an opinion-based and some factual-based stuff on the Romanian Wasrs. A little bit of a warning video and a little bit of a, kind of like what to look for type thing. So, now, a lot of people that are into guns will, this video, just throw it out, just stop watching now. For anyone that is looking at buying one, I'm going to mention some key cool aspects for you. Definitely things to kind of look out for. Now, to start off, Romanians, it's pretty much when you do buy these, and let's say you're at Cabela's or at some local sporting goods store, and you see one on the shelf. Oh, this thing doesn't look bad. Now, so this is a Dura-coated one that I did, and I currently have for sale. Check out my gun broker. I'm doing a 1 cent, no reserve. And I think it ends on like the July 13th or something like that. But anyways, let's get back to the kind of gun thing here. I forgot to mention that. Anyways, now, more or less, they are built with completely used surplus parts. Now, internals, most people don't think to look at the internals. And especially too, again, let's say if you're looking at the internals with the flashlight outside the shop, oh, this thing looks good, blah, 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 blah. Even though it's listed as new, it's technically not really new. So, even if everything looks good, they're probably going to bring one out, because that's how gun shops work, unless it's the last one. Definitely recheck everything. And when I say that, check the barrel. It's not a bad idea. It's probably, it's probably in good condition, but check the barrel. And besides that, like, a couple good things to check for is the front sight, which you can't really see it here, it's out of camera a little bit, but make sure the front sight post is actually properly mounted. Make sure you try to line things and it's not off to one side more than the other, or that it's not like bent weird. Make sure that it's it's also like circleized right, and it's not like, because these things are unfortunately more or less just slopped together. And, the best way to explain it is you got all these people working at a factory, and, especially with gunwork, some people take pride in it. Some people really like to throw a good quality product together, even though they're building them off used parts kits. And some people is like that average. I'm assuming a lot of people here have either worked a crappy food job, a crappy retail job, being Walmart and Target, wherever. You just get those people that they're just there for money, which obviously we all are in the first place, but we usually, some people like to kind of take a little bit of pride in their job, and you get those people that just don't. I'm here for the money. They do like the least amount of work needed. They just suck it up, and then unfortunately there's those people around. Now, basically, from what I've seen, they have more of those people than not. They're they're kind of notorious for the whole aspect of the Romanian Wasr. But the thing about that too, you gotta remember, is these guns are so fucking cheap in comparison to a real, well, I shouldn't say a real AK because they are, but compared to something like a Vector or an Arsenal or a Bulgarian or a Koryanovich Arms, which I got over here to the side, which is a total badass AK. Check out the review I got for that on my main channel page. But you basically have people that are really just slopping these things together. And then, when they get imported, they have a couple things done, like the trigger conversions to the G2. They get the muzzle brake thrown off. Some like this actually came converted with a converted, I guess customized might be a better way to put it, but customized with the Galil handguard, which is from Tapco, and then as well with the Tapco side folder stock. You can find a ton of different models. Some have wood with a side folder. Some have Galil with wood, pretty much any type of combination you can really find. Now, depending on if they carry it, that will kind of give it up. But fact is, like, you can get one of these things for some sites sell them for $3.70, some sell them for $4. They're almost always out because it's such a goddamn good price. Normally, if you go to somewhere like Cabela's, which is somewhere local up here, you can find them for like $500 used and $550, $600 new. Those places kind of fucking rape you for what you're getting, in my opinion. And, again, what you're paying for is what you're paying for. You're paying $400, $370 for this. It's a fucking good deal. It's still something that, in general, you can just shoot 100 rounds throw it in the, maybe you don't even have a bag for it, or just whatever you bring it out to the range. You can just throw it together, throw it back, bring it out a month later, throw another couple hundred rounds through it, 100, so on until the winter. Let it sit all winter and keep on shooting this thing. And that's the cool thing about AKs. They can get dirty as shit and still shoot. And is it going to be super reliable still? That's a little iffy. Probably more than not. But in general, again, they're not bad. Now, consistency is another huge issue with Romanians, and this also kind of has to do with reliability. If you check the parts, which, everything has a part number. It's the receiver, the top cover plate, the gas block. Pretty much everything has a part number. Actually, I don't think the gas block does. But pretty much everything has like a parts number on it, and obviously like the stock does not, etc. But everything that has a part on it, things like I've never seen a Wasr, I think, with matching parts, unless it was like imported, and then put together like from somebody that made one. Now with that, what common issue that hopefully I'll be able to do here is I'm going to rack this back and slowly assist it forward, and it is locked back. That is not a safety feature. Push forward just a little bit on it, and see how little that was? Just a little. It goes forward. Basically, when you're shooting it, there's times where, unless you're using really, really hot loads, which you're already using a fucking heavy caliber, so there's not much hotter you can get it, but things like Wolf and Brown Bear, there's times where, and even though it took so little pressure to shoot forward, it'll get stuck back there, and that's mainly due to the spring assembly. And again, these are cheap-ass AKs. You can buy a brand new, spring assembly, like a brand new off-the-line one for, I want to say 18, 20 bucks. But I think they get theirs for, probably like 2, maybe 3, because most of them are already really worn, and it's just, it's, they just throw the cheapest parts that they can get into these things, more or less. So that right there is an example of those issues. As well, some of the top receiver covers, they don't even fit the fucking guns, which is still beyond me how this thing leaves the factory. This one does properly, but some of them, they'll fall off while shooting. Or it's so tight that when you bring back the bolt, when it gets to the back right here with the, the little groove, you actually have to start really ripping it back. And it's just this whole effort just to, shoot the gun, and then you have to Dremel it down because it won't shoot it without that being done. So it's just, again, the inconsistency in the gun is pretty ridiculous. Now, otherwise, there's not a whole lot of things to mention, I guess. It's just in generals, as well in the internals. There's this model didn't have it, but they just use for example, the spring as retaining for all the trigger and all that. And the springs, again, are the worst fucking things in the goddamn world. Does it work? Yes, but it's really worst case scenario. That's what you want. And again, it's just budget part after budget part after budget part. Now, kind of a cool thing that they found around that was, models like this. Okay, we're paying 20 bucks for that front wood handguard. We're paying 25 for that rear stock with that metal butt plate. Well, let's upgrade that to a $25, $30 handguard, so we're spending just a little bit more money, and then $30, $35 stock. And then again, they have different stock, different variations. Sometimes they vary a little bit more on price than not, but in general, they're all around 15, 20 bucks of each other. So we're going to upgrade that price a little bit, but these things are going to sell a shitload more because they have so much more of a tactical appeal and so much more of a cool appeal than that. And also those woods, the fucking wood sucks too. It's fucking shit wood if anyone's ever seen one, you know what I'm talking about. And again, it's oh, okay, so now you have this kind of cool gun that sucks, but doesn't look as shitty. And, yeah, that's pretty much, it's pretty much it. And the mags, too, that you get with these things, oh my god, I don't think I've ever seen a Romanian come with the same 2 mags ever. And when I say that, one that you buy and one that your friend buys, they could be completely different mags. And somebody that knows mags, you'll know what I'm talking about. But, oh, it comes with 2 steel mags. Okay, and sometimes they're even in good condition, sometimes they're in shitty wow condition. So, again, just, you know, be leery of that stuff. Again, you know, it's just, I can't stress enough on it's all just bargain, you know, surplus parts. So, hopefully, you know, that, little info for anybody out there looking at buying a Romanian. Test it out a little bit, and if you can rack back the handle, you know, and it flies right forward with, you know, not assisting it, or sorry, with assisting it some, definitely a plus right there. That's one of the biggest things to look out for. And as well, that front and side post, huge thing to look for too. So, besides that, you know, I mean, an AK is an AK. As well, you don't really have as much accuracy with the standard, you know, basic Romanian, but it's not bad. You know, you can still pop rounds off at 100 yards. Are you going to be 1-to-1? Very unlikely, especially fast-ish shooting. Hell no. But it's a cool gun. You know, price point is definitely great on these things. Thing is, you can buy one, you can Duracoat it like this. It looks like a good 7, or, you know, it could be, actually be worth like $750 or more. You know, it's definitely like, ooh, okay, cool. Like I think this is a very badass gun. Unfortunately, you know, I need the money, so. But what are you gonna do? Unfortunately, I never got to shoot this guy either, so it's brand new for anybody that's interested in that option. But you know, it's good stuff. It's crazy, and as well, if you're interested in anything like the Duracoating, check out my other videos on that. But I guess that's really all I have to say. So thanks for watching. Take care. Have a good day, guys. So take care.